Human beings are evolutionarily programmed to be social creatures. It is the ultimate survival mechanism. You can fall asleep and someone else will stay awake to make sure the tigers don't attack the village at night. This is why we evolved to need human connection. And so the more time people spend working or watching entertainment, or the more time they spend on their phone, the less time we spend truly connecting with each other. And this creates so much mental anguish in our society. It creates a world of people who have lost the ability to socialize and to practice kindness and compassion. The more isolated we are, the more separate we feel, the less people think we need each other. But we are still social creatures. And no matter how many digital friends we have or digital characters on TV we can watch, we still need human companionship, in person, IRL. But because so many people live separately and isolated lives, a level of cruelty can arise. And we can see this when we feel like people are just against us, that they hate us, and we take it personally. We feel like we are attacked physically and emotionally. And it's in these times that it is so important to remember that how people feel about others is a projection of how they feel about themselves. And we must do a few things to not let that get to us. One of those things is to respond with compassion, not necessarily to that person directly, but in our minds. We can turn our feeling of sadness and anger into compassion and empathy by realizing that these people are suffering immensely, that the amount of hate in their heart must be torturous, so much so that they have to lash out at others. They're just exploding with rage. Practicing loving kindness meditation, where we nurture those muscles of love, kindness, compassion, and forgiveness, such as the one on this YouTube channel, are so powerful for transforming feelings of anger and resentment and hatred into love. When we feel like the world is against us, we must transform that feeling into something positive. And there are 3 ways to do that. The first way is to look at these times alone as an opportunity to practice meditation and as times to nourish our soul. Because time alone can be a great gift and an incredible opportunity to turn our attention inward and tap into that peace and joy within. When we do that, we don't care what other people think. because we don't need others' validation and approval. And we can become more ourselves, more confident, and more courageous. The second way to deal with that feeling of the whole world's against you is to spend some time building your own community. And there's incredible people out there. And there's incredible platforms for meeting up with people. And you can find and build your tribe, your community of like-minded, beautiful souls who don't judge and are there for each other. And the third way, which is my favorite way, which is to do both 1 and 2. Use that time alone to learn meditation or yoga or a new skill or taking up a new language or practicing art or getting into athletics, anything that nourishes the soul, while simultaneously building that community. And if the community doesn't go perfectly right away, or there's some setbacks, you have an inner strength, an inner peace, and an inner joy to withstand the ups and downs of this process. At the end of the day, we can't control what other people think or do or say. All we can do is control what we think, do, and say. Will you respond to cruelty with cruelty? Will you allow people who are at a lower state of awareness to dictate your inner peace? Or will you respond with grace and calm and clarity that comes from an inner strength and a universal love for all beings? Will you let other people's negativity turn you into a pessimistic and bitter person? Or will you brush it off your shoulder, keep your head held high, respond with compassion and empathy for their suffering, and maintain your awareness that their lack of peace has nothing to do with you. There are so many beautiful souls in the world, and I know how hard it can be, especially in small towns, to find them. But they are everywhere. They are out there. They're looking for you. You just have to put yourself out there, keep trying, never give up, and you'll find them. I know that sometimes these people who treat others poorly can sometimes be in our own families. They can be roommates. They can be coworkers. And it can be so difficult because we can't just remove ourselves from them. But the more we practice mindfulness and the more we practice love and compassion, the more we realize that these combination of sounds that these cruel people use to hurt us are impenetrable to mindfulness. These combination of sounds that turn into hurtful words only hurting our ego, our thinking mind, which feels attacked. And the more presence we bring to a situation, the less we identify with this ego, and the more we can handle any situation, any hurt person, lashing out, crying for help in the only way they know how. With presence, with peace, you'll know what to do in these situations with clarity and calm. And no one and no thing can disturb your inner peace because you've touched it within.